Hey Arena Plus subscribers, CJ Berkheimer here at Midworld MMA for the Arena Plus seminar. I had a lot of time on Arena. I've been there from the start pretty much, and I've had a ton of growth within just by being on all of the cards I've been on. It's been a really great time seeing Arena grow from where it was over a year ago to where it's at now. In section 1, we'll be working on some cage wrestling, specifically looking at a trip that I like to use off of the cage. Within section 2, we'll be looking at an overhook butterfly sweep, as well as 2 submissions that I have a lot of success with using off of those sweeps. Within section 3, we'll be looking at some attacks within the half butterfly system that also lead into the arm saddle and some different moves that we can use off of that sequence within the arm saddle, specifically the choi bar, a back take, and maybe even some reverse triangle. And then within section 4, time permitting, we'll be looking at some flower sweeps as well as a triangle that I used in my, I think Arena Series 4 specifically. Could have been 5, but Arena Series 4 or 5. So really excited about it. Excited for you guys to see it. Guys, before we get started, I just wanted to thank you guys all for having me. I'm really excited and honestly grateful to be here, be able to share my jiu-jitsu with you guys. So really means a lot that you guys are all here today on a Sunday for Arena. So thank you guys. I'm CJ Berkheimer. I train out of Paramount BJJ in Downingtown, PA. That's Joe Kemper. He trains out of Drew's MMA and jiu-jitsu. He's been on 1 Arena. I think I've been on 7 or 8 at this point. I've honestly lost count, but it's a lot of fun and I encourage you guys all to do it as well. I guess we'll just start off, line up by rank real quick, and we'll bow in and then we'll get into the technique. The format of today will be, first sequence is gonna be out of the cage. We'll do some cage grappling in there. And then once we're warmed up, we'll get into the second thing, which is gonna be some overhook butterfly. And then we'll move on to some butterfly half and some arm saddle work. And then finally, we'll end with some closed guard stuff, time permitting, okay? Once we get through all of that, I wanna take maybe 20, 30 minutes to roll and then do a Q&A once we get done rolling to try and use some of the moves that I teach today. Or just questions on anything as we go too. I'm happy to answer anything that comes up, whether it's on stuff we covered today or completely unrelated, okay? So I'm just happy to be here and kind of give some feedback on anything that you guys have questions on, give my perspective, learn some new stuff, okay? So let's just line up real quick and then we'll bow out or bow in. You could just stand next to me. However you guys do it. Usually at my gym, we just line up by belt. However it works out, it's all good for me. All right, guys, bow in. So we'll head right into the cage. So go ahead and grab a partner, whoever you're gonna be drilling with today. And we have a good amount of space, so we'll shut the door. We're just gonna get warm, doing some cage pummeling and looking at some like mini games here, okay? So I'm with Joe, and so we'll start off probably a minute apiece, and we'll start off in an over-under position, and we're just looking to get small wins here. Joe's looking to pick up a leg off of this and try to pull me off of the cage here. And since we don't really, we have a lot of space, so we can also work on finishing the takedowns from there as well, since we won't really be running into each other. But so a win for the person against the cage is looking like getting control and either finishing a takedown or getting them off of the cage to a position where we would finish it, right? For me to win as the person against the cage, I'm looking to pummel in and circle out and get his back to the cage, okay? And I know a lot of you guys have grappled in cages before, so you guys might already know this. But so whatever side he has the underhook to, I want to be pointing my feet out of that direction. If I'm turning into him while he has the underhook, there's a good chance he can get under my hips and get to me here, right? So whichever way he has the underhook, I want to point my feet away, okay? And also here, the lower he gets, the lower I have to get, right? We need to split levels and work our way back up. Once we're here, dig that underhook, circle out, try to win. If you pick up the leg and pull them off the cage and hold it for like 3 seconds, we'll count that as a win and go ahead and reset back against the cage. We're just looking at little positional battles. Same as If I spun out and got his back to the cage and I hold for 3 seconds here, that's a win, reset, okay? So I'll set a timer. We'll do a minute apiece, then we'll switch off, then we'll get into some technique, okay? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. So go ahead, get set up, get some space. Over under position. All right, whenever you guys are ready, go ahead. First minute starting. Just getting warm here. Don't try to kill each other. Working on the positional battle here, trying to keep your partner against the cage. Nice, circle out, nice, hold that, and that's a reset. Keeping it light here, focusing on keeping your partner against the cage. It's harder than it looks. Nice single leg. Focusing on that positional battle. Nice. Reset against the cage. Dig for those underhooks. Try to stay lower if you're against the cage. Stay lower than the person driving into you. 15 seconds here. Time. Let's switch sides. So resetting now, guys. Over under position. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead. It's a win too if you can keep their back against the cage the whole time. Remember, the person with their back against the cage needs to circle out. So if you can keep them pinned, that's a win as well. Underhooks really matter here. Nice, nice. Nice, good reset, guys. Drive with that underhook, ah. Nice. Right back up, right back up. 10 seconds here, guys. Pull him off the cage with that single leg try to. Nice. Time, guys. Let's go ahead and switch partners and do it one more time. So get a new partner. Same deal as before. We're keeping a moderate pace here, not trying to kill each other. All right, whenever you guys are ready, go ahead. Starting in that over-under position. Nice, get low with that. Remember, keeping your partner against the cage is a skill in itself. Good head positioning. Nice, circle out, circle out. $15 seconds here. Nice, you can snap down from there too. Here, Eric's a big dude. He's a big dude. Time, guys. Switch sides. Starting in that over-under position. Last one here, guys. Go ahead. Try and stay lower than your partner. Win the head positioning battle. If your partner's winning the head positioning battle, get lower than them. Dig that underhook. Nice. Nice, Nate. Halfway through. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Keep it up. Nice. Nice takedown. Time, guys. All right. So I'm sure a lot of you guys felt there. It can be pretty difficult to win that battle against the cage trying to use your hands to connect to their lower body. There's a lot of things that go into it that can keep you from being able to finish that takedown. So one thing that I like to use, instead of trying to use our upper body here to go against the lower body, maybe with my underhook, right? I'm driving in, I threaten this either a double or a single here, but I can use my lower body to trip him out, right? So if we're looking at that again, on my underhook side here, I'm driving in. I'm threatening attacking his lower body here, just getting my hand here so I can get his hand to my wrist, right? I'm looking to hook my foot in as I spin out and I release my underhook. So he falls down. I don't want to come down with him because I don't really want to crash down, right? I like the space that I get when I do that. So if we're here, head positioning, we're winning the head positioning battle, right? I'm looking to threaten, so he has to defend in some type of way at the wrist here. And I'm just windshield wipering my foot in, and I'm looking to hook out as I take him down. We need to cover right away so he doesn't scramble back up, but this is a pretty effective way to get him down to the mat. I threatened this on Nick Mancini in my last match, but he looked to come over the top to Kimura this arm, which was pretty unorthodox, and I don't think you'll have that reaction from a lot of other people. But in the event that they come over here, it's a good time to look at taking the back, which is what I did in that match, right? I doubt that'll happen to anyone else, but that's an option, right? So on our underhook side here, we're not looking to do it with this foot because I just don't think you really have the availability to pick it up on this side. I'm driving in, I'm looking to scoop as low at the heel as I can, up, and then I'm turning to my left, setting him down, okay? Anybody have any questions on that? All right, let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yup. And if you can, you don't even need to drop to your knee. If you can just scoop and kind of drop him down. Try and keep that heel high up in the air, guys. Nice, Nate. Try and go lower below his knee, too. Yeah, as low as you can, right? If we hook at the knee, it's okay, right? But we need to be able to drop him down. Nice, that one looked good. Nice. That was a good one. Yeah, that pivot. Nice, Eric. All right, driving in. So go in front, right? Yeah. And then just big pivot to your left. Hop on your foot, drop him down. Yeah. Try and stay like driving into him, right? So as we scoop, we're just there. Nice. Very good. Good adjustments. Nice, guys. Let's just look in real quick. Let's just clean it up just a little bit here. Something that really helps make this work is the wider Joe's standing, right? If I get him to really feel like I'm taking him down here, it gets easier to start picking this foot up and get him down. But even more so, if he's standing straight up and he's just heavy-footed here, it makes it even easier as well, right? I want to pick up and I'm using my heel to scoop his foot out, right? Make your foot heavy, right? If I'm scooping out, I need to pivot out to my left as soon as I'm here. I pretty much have the takedown once I'm here. I'm looking to scoop out. My foot's not touching the ground until he comes down. So let's just work on scooping and then pivoting down, okay? And driving forward with that underhook. Try and pull them down as we go, right? We have the underhook. We're threatening the takedown. We're gonna scoop in as low down to the heel as we can. Sometimes it's at the knee, that's totally fine. We're scooping, and I'm bouncing off this foot as I go, okay? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Try and keep that foot up. Try and keep that scoop. Do it with the underhook. Nice, the pummeling. Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. It's going to be hard too with him. He's got long legs, you know. A lot to pick up there. Nice. You just pivot. Very nice. Nice. One more minute here, guys, then we'll pivot to the mat. Nice, Eric. Yup, exactly. And just scoop in, pivot out. Nice, dude, nice. That's looking way better. Nice. Better and better. Nice, that was a good one. Way better, man. That's awesome. Good. Good enough. All right, guys. Very good on that one. Let's head over to the mats and work on some butterfly sweeps. Look really good with that one. Tons of improvement. So now kind of looking at some guard stuff. I'm a big fan of using overhooks. It's almost to my detriment in a lot of ways because there's some good ways to counter overhooks, but I'm a big fan of using them to get into awkward entanglements with my training partners. And so a lot of people don't really expect it from the butterfly position, right? Everybody's used to underhook butterfly sweeps coming in here, right? But when we can get the overhook and win this head positioning battle, it's a super effective way to sweep and get into entanglements, right? So like I just said, I need this knee pointed out, and more importantly, I need my head on this side of Joe. If Joe wins this head battle, I'm gonna get flattened out, and then I have to restart, right? So when I'm here, I wanna be at an angle. A lot of people play butterfly guard kind of straight on, but I like to play at an angle with this knee kind of favored, so I'm able to tuck this foot underneath, which I'll show you guys here in a second. So just kind of going through the move real quick. So looking at some of the details of that, I need to stay tight with this overhook, and if I'm loose at all, he can kind of work his way out, and then I have to look at other options, right? So anytime we have this overhook, I almost want to be elbow to elbow, right? I want to kind of meet these here. Keeping this tight is really important. I'm winning that head positioning battle, like I said, and this knee can't go inwards. It's almost better the farther it is out in a way, because then he's not going to get past it. But if my knee starts coming in, I'm going to get flattened out, okay? So we have to get really good at being technical there. I prefer to get a grip at the wrist because it's the farthest point out and it's the easiest to get to, right? If you think of kind of we get into this position, there's a good chance this hand ends up on the mat. So it's easier to scoop this and push it in. So that's what we're gonna work on, okay? As I do that, I wanna load him up, right? And it's not just dropping to my back to get the sweep, right? I need to drop to my shoulder and then push off my toes. So you're gonna see me retract this foot as I go here, right? So I drop to my shoulder. This foot is coming out to help finish the sweep here. All right, so without Joe, I'm here. This foot was underneath, maybe hooked in like a half guard type position. I'm bringing it out and I'm tripoding up as I go. That'll make a world of a difference for any of your butterfly work, because using this foot to push off is usually the last thing that happens to finish the sweep, right? So I'm pulling in, going to my shoulder, and as I do, I'm bringing this foot out to help tripod up, okay? And so from here, giving up the underhook, it doesn't make sense to try and go to a knee cut to side control, right? If I'm here and I look to go to the knee cut, he has the chance to counter me there. So we need to look at either taking a quarter guard or staying heavy on this overhook and driving up to go to mount, okay? Anytime we have the overhook with a sweep, we don't want to look for side control. Does that make sense? We're kind of giving up a bad position there. So we're here, we got our overhook, we're pulling in tight, we're winning the head position battle. I'm in this crook of his neck, catching at the wrist, pushing it in, and as I load him up and I fall to my shoulder, this foot's coming out. So if Joe stays heavy here and tries to defend, my foot is what helps me finish this here. And falling here, you can see he doesn't have anything to keep my foot. He has that quarter guard, but it's easily beatable, right? Does anybody have any questions? We all good? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Excuse me. We're gonna get into that next. But with that overhook, it's a little trickier, right? Because mount with the overhook gets a little hard, but it's nice that we could pop this knee here and then let go of it. Put it down. Yeah, we're putting that there so that when we let go of this overhook, right? Look at the space he has. He doesn't have much. So then when we bring this in, that's when we can start working, because now he's kind of trapped, right? His arm has only got that area to go. Yeah, yeah. So that's when I start looking at triangles, pinning that wrist down. Yup. Yup. Because anytime we can trap his hands up with our knees, it just makes it so much easier to transition. Nice. Very good. Yep, push off that foot, push off that foot. Nice. Very good, nice. If I can, so it kind of depends on your preference from there, but going into the next thing we're gonna do, I like to try and pin it to his chest. Right here? As much as I can, yeah. It works just as well with double overs though, from what I've felt. Okay. Like for the sweep portion, but we're about to look at another part to it. I feel like you have a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. It's hard for him to be able to hold anything from there. And I was just saying to him, like, once I finish that sweep, it's like, there's not much to get from here. We can pop this knee up, and he's stuck here now. Yeah. Right, and then we let go of it. Start looking at triangles, right? Yeah. Nice, man. You got this one down. Nice. Everybody's looking good. One more minute here. So try and get more of an angle, right? I want you to be on your hip when you're here. Yeah, yeah. And now push his hand to his chest. Scoop that in. Yup, yup, yup. Now elevate. Nice. Tons of improvement there. Just like anytime we can, like really any position, right? We don't want to be like straight on. Kind of want to be like at our hip as much as we can, right? So that we can elevate and build. Nice, guys. Let's circle back up. So that's a pretty effective sweep. I was saying to some of you guys, I have success with it, even from like a double over position, but we're not gonna look too much at that now. We're gonna look at the next option if our partner defends by posting their leg, okay? So just going through it. Turn this way. You post your leg. So he doesn't have that hand to post. So the next thing he has to be able to post with is that foot, okay? It might make sense from an underhook to look at going into X guard when he posts that foot out, but from the overhook, it's a little funkier because he could stuff me here and kind of make it hard for me to elevate. So the reason why I say I like to hold at the wrist is for this reason, right? When he posts that foot up off the sweep, he's giving up a lot of space here, right? He might be heavy in this elbow to start, posting on it, but then that makes his wrist really weak here. So we can just shove it in as we raise up our right leg, right? Just kind of looking at that. This leg staying here until my right leg beats his left arm, okay? I don't want to jump this too early and kind of be in a bad position, right? So I'm stuffing this through after he posts. Maybe he's on his elbow, and I'm pushing it by to get here. Does everybody see that? Once I'm here, I feel pretty good about this. It's really easy to circle my left foot out and connect. Now with the overhook triangle, it can be kind of difficult to finish because there's a lot of space here and I have my hand between my legs at this point, so I need to reclaim some ground. I like to stay heavy on the overhook until I can finish the triangle, right? He's in more of a problem position here because he can look to posture up, but I'm staying connected, and that's what makes this nice. If we can, dropping the arm down to the elbow to help threaten this arm bar is gonna make him think about what to do next. If he continues to posture up when my arm's at his elbow, I have a good break there. So he'll probably look to think about what do I wanna do next, right? And so that's when it makes sense if he pummels this arm in to raise our hips and pop it over. Now from here, the way I like to finish triangles, I always look to connect my hand to my shin, not behind my leg, but in front, so I can step and get this angle. Now let's say I can't get that angle, right? And I have the hand connected here and I triangle off. This is a pretty common spot for a lot of people. We don't have the angle. We're kind of looking eye to eye with our partner. A lot of people say that like, this is a difficult position to finish from, but what I've found is that if I can scoop under this armpit, it helps create that angle for me. It makes it even tighter. I think in the Robbie Bloom match I had on like Arena 8 or 9, that's how I got this finish. I couldn't scoop under his leg, but I ended up getting under his arm, and this makes it very tight there. Okay, so play around with that. So from here, same setup as before. I'm elevating, he's gonna post into his foot, and he's also heavy in his elbow, because that's the most common reaction. We're gonna keep elevating with tension in this foot as we drive this hand to his stomach, okay? Once we're here, we're gonna let him decide how he wants this to go. If he builds up and just stays steady, I'm getting that triangle locked up as he postures and throwing it over. If he decides to keep that arm in here as he postures up, we have our arm bar, right? We can throw that leg over too. If he decides to start pummeling his hand in, pop that over and play around with underhooking at this armpit to get that finish, okay? Does anybody have any questions or want to see another angle?
You're grabbing your own wrist right there.
Yeah. Okay. My bad for not explaining that. If you can get this connection, I find that it like really helps a lot, right? I'm pushing and I'm connecting my hand to my wrist. I don't think it's necessarily required for you to be able to do it, but it definitely helps a lot. And even so with the sweep portion, if we can get that connection, we're getting that sweep 10 times out of 10, right? So if we can connect our hands, it's great, but it's definitely not needed. Great point. All right, let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And play around with going under the armpit instead of the leg too. See how tight that gets. Yup. It's kind of on their terms. For me, like if I can just hold that, I'll keep it till, like, cause it's miserable for him, right? So like, I'll really just sit there until he chooses his own, like, kind of, like, picks his own poison there. It just, yeah, it really comes down to him, cause if he stays there, you can sweep, right? Like, you can kind of take him over his left and finish it out there. And then it's like underhooking that arm, whatever it comes down to. That overhook puts him in such a, like, problematic situation.
Yeah. He had so much control with this.
Yeah. And like, most guys want to like stand up out of that triangle, and if you do that, you're connected.
Yeah.
And they're not going anywhere. So it's like, I really like it. Yeah. So stop for me real quick. I want you to try and keep this knee pointed out just a little bit more, right? If we're closing in too tight here, we're kind of losing like effectiveness. You feel what I mean? So try and keep like a little flare so that's like stronger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does that feel any different?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because the tighter your knee is to his hip, you're kind of losing like power there. So you want, yeah, that kind of like a little flared out. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, it's like tricky to drill because if they don't like try to defend, it like isn't gonna work.
So if they post on their head, are you just gonna continue trying to go for
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they go to their head, yeah.
Let me get a better like post for you.
Nice. Nice. Push that hand in. Beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, that arm bar's there all day. Nice. Nice. Good. Nice. What kind of time are we at? Doris. What? Doris and then butterfly half stuff. Nice, guys. 30 more seconds here. Good, good. Nice. It looks like that was perfect. What do you mean?
So like when I'm going for the sweep, all right, keep going. Am I still raising my hips?
So as much as you need to, right? Because we want him to post this foot out as far wide as he can. So it kind of comes down to like what he does off the jump. Like how good was our butterfly sweep?
Okay.
So we really need him to like feel like this. I don't go for this and think like, oh, I'm getting butterfly triangle this time. Like I'm gonna get the sweep, and then he defends this way and it becomes available.
It's just reaction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like if he defends correctly, it becomes easier to get. Very good. All right, guys, let's circle back up. Does anybody have questions on that one? Everybody felt good? So I'm gonna kind of go back on what I just said on the first move here, and we're gonna end up going to side control. So, like I said before, it's not a good idea to come up to side control from an overhook position, right? Because we're giving up space, and in a point setting, he's gonna look to wrestle up, but we're inviting that here. So I'm gonna just real quick before you go, let's just spin, so you guys can see this detail. You see how my foot's hooked in right now. This isn't gonna be possible if I don't get this out, but that's not an issue because when he wrestles up and starts coming up, it comes out for free basically. The thing that we need to do as that happens is I need this arm to punch to the mat. All right, so as he wrestles up, this arm's staying heavy. Does everybody see that? Can everybody see? So as he builds his base, I'm gonna keep elbow to elbow connection as I drop to my hip. From here, we're connecting our hands into that dart, okay? All right, so we're sweeping, same as before. Taking him over, and instead of driving across, we're gonna take our knee to the other side of his hip. Once we do that, I'm building up. Maybe I hang out here for a second, get my 2, right? Because we can hold this for a second here. We just need about 3 seconds to get our points. Once he builds up, I'm windshield wipering my foot out, okay? Everybody get that? He builds, this foot comes out. As he keeps building up, I'm punching this hand to the mat, and once he's all the way squared up and driving into me, I'm falling down. My hip's going square to the mat, and I'm making sure I can see my hand. If I can see my fingers here, I can Darce, okay? So all I'm looking to do is slide my arm to the back of Joe's head as I connect to my bicep. Now from here, he can try to keep driving into me, and no matter what he does, he's gonna end up falling back to that hip, right? And then this is our battle. I'm looking to connect to his foot, or even better, over his body, okay? He's gonna think that he's got something good here, right? He's thinking like, oh, this guy shouldn't have done this. I'm gonna get my sweep back. I'm gonna wrestle up. And so this is the perfect time to pop that foot out, keep this arm heavy, punch in the mat. And once he builds up and I feel like there's enough bend in his arm, right? Because like right here, it's gonna be hard to Darce through because he's got connection to my lower back. I'm sliding down to get that arm to fall, right? So he's staying strong. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's looking to drive into me and take me back down. Staying heavy here, elbow to elbow, slide your lower body down. See how that beats the arm? Once we're here, we could have this much distance and there could be this much arm to cover. That's totally fine. To finish the Darce though, we do need his elbow to be kind of connected to his neck here. So that's when we'd connect our hands and pull him in. I prefer to be here instead of that, the typical Darce where they're on their back, right? We pop them over and we're there like that. I prefer the sliding Darce because this allows us the opportunity to get under him and get this kind of grip and stay tight. Once I'm here, slide your arm across. Walk towards him. Get your finish. We can do the same thing from a tripoded position, right? For here, a lot of the times I don't feel like I can get the person over. They're just too strong. I don't feel like I have the strength to be able to knock somebody over here, right? So maybe I threaten that and then I slide down. It's always there. If we can see our fingers here, we have the Darce. Connect. Get our finish. Does anybody want to see it again? Feel good about it? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Person on bottom, make sure you're squaring up, wrestling up on bottom. Yeah, yup. What?
Right from here to over top?
If you can, yeah. I like putting my heel over their belly because then they're kind of stuck. A lot of people like, they'll keep moving their feet back because everyone knows that you're looking to connect the half guard. So you, if you can, hooking that foot, yeah. Yeah, guys, when you're finishing that darce, hook your feet wherever. It's just there to keep them connected so they can't keep shrimping away. Yup. As he wrestles up, pop that foot out, slide that down. Drop your hip, drop to your hip. Now go through that all the way again. Like let him get that like wrestle up grip and stay connected. Yeah, yeah. Feel what it feels like. Try and get elbow to elbow here, like lower it a little bit. Now just slide down slowly. Yeah. Nice. Let me have you real quick, Joe. One thing, guys. Something that might happen that might get you caught up here when we're here is that his arm could be strong. And so something that I kind of take for granted because I'm used to doing this is this elbow to elbow connection really gets useful if he's driving up, right? And I need to be able to slide in a way that doesn't put me in a position where his arm's still around my back, right? Because this is kind of harder to finish. So if we can use our hip to kind of help guide his hand in front, you see that motion? If we're heavy on this hip, we can strip that down, kind of like a whizzer if we're defending a takedown. We're just, like the extra part of this, a lot of you guys are already doing it, but I wanted to just detail it here. I'm using my hip to slide that hand down as I go, because ideally, this hand's in front of me when I walk. It's not required, right? If his hand stays behind me, I can still get this connection and guide it in front once I do, but it's better off if as I slide, his hand pops, okay? And then we're here. All right, let's just keep going. Nice. Nice. And something that might help too, wherever you can grab onto with that hand, just make some kind of connection.
Okay.
Don't let it like float.
Okay.
Ideally, like I like grabbing onto the shoulder. Yeah, just something to like keep it like tight to help. Because it's basically just this grip, right? You're just, yeah. It fall to that hip, nice.
It's almost like a shallow or whizzer.
Yeah.
Just right at the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mirror lock.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly like a mirror lock. That's what I feel bad when I'm showing it sometimes because like it definitely can be heavy on the elbow if you just like drop into it and like I don't realize I'm doing that, so I feel bad. Nice sweep. All right, let him build up. Now fall to your hip, fall to your hip. You're staying square with him, yep. Nice. Very good, man. Nice, Joe. You can do that one. I prefer to keep walking in the direction you land, but what you did there can like definitely work. But like, I don't know, I've like always preferred to just keep walking in that direction because they'll like fall into it themselves. But what you did isn't wrong. Nice, Nate. Nice darce. Good job. Very good. Get a couple more reps here, guys, then we're going to transition to the second sequence. Perfect. All right, guys, let's circle back up. So, like I was saying earlier, the overhook can kind of cause problems for you as the guard player as well. If he's able to limp arm out of here, I'm kind of stuck without grips, right? So I like to often transition to this knee shield and look to get a 2-on-1 of some kind. The grip that we're going to be looking at today is an arm drag grip or a reverse Kimura grip. I'm grabbing at the wrist, same as what we did for the sweep, and I'm cupping behind his tricep. We're keeping like a counter force here. I'm pulling with my left arm and I'm pushing with my right arm. Everybody see that? Pull left arm, push right arm. Getting this reaction. He's not gonna let me do that. He's gonna keep his arm straight, but that's what we're looking for, okay? So for our first sweep, we're gonna take our knee shield leg and drop it in to our butterfly half, okay? Once we're here, punching through, sweeping, and we end up in that same quarter guard position. And if we can dig that underhook, we can knee cut, but that's not, we don't need to do that for now, but if you want to add that, you totally can. All right, so just get used to knee shield, frames, grabbing at the wrist, transition in this frame to behind the tricep as we bring our knee shield leg in to a butterfly hook. My knee needs to stay outside of his body, same as before. If this knee goes in, my guard's passed all day, right? So this knee needs to stay out and my toes are pointed. My toes are always like this, right? We need strong hooks, right? So knee shield, frames, hand to the wrist, left hand behind the tricep, then I'm transitioning to my butterfly half, okay? I'm gonna punch, pull with my left hand as I drop my foot out to help me sweep into my hook sweep. From here, we end up in this position. I like to transition to the underhook, and if I can, we'll get the knee cut, okay? So pretty simple. It's just an underhook variation of the first move we did, okay? Any questions? Yeah. Here in the knee shield, right? We're gonna get our grips, because if we just transition into that butterfly half, we can kind of just end up floating here, right? So I want my grips, then transition in. And so he might be strong here, but using the same technique as before, I'm bringing my foot out as I transition onto my shoulder. I'm pushing as I sweep. Dig the underhook, stay tight, get our knee cut, all right? Let's go on 3, 1, 2, 3. Nice, Nate. Underhook grip with that, yeah. Dip that in. Yup, nice, nice. Push, push, push. Very good. Now look to dig for that underhook quick. Nice. Nice, man. Nice, Eric. Nice, make sure we're keeping that knee pointed out. Don't let your knee like fold inwards. Off the sweep, your left one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's looking good. Let's spend another minute here. Everybody's doing a great job of digging that underhook too. That's what's gonna help keep the position. Nice, try and, yup. Now as we fall to that shoulder, push off your foot. Nice, dig for that underhook. Very good. Very good. Nice, Joe. Exactly, Nate. Exactly. Nice, man. Nice. Everybody's looking really good with the transition from the knee shield to the butterfly half. Good knee cut. All right, guys, let's circle back up. So I'm sure a lot of you guys felt that sweep can feel a little funky. It's definitely effective, but there's definitely room for it to get lost in the process just by nature of having that 2-on-1 and not really having a ton of control on their body as you sweep. I like to use it as a threat so the person on top knows that they need to hunker down and kind of defend at that point, right? So this is what I like to use off of that sequence, okay? From here, right, we transition to our butterfly half. If I have this up, right, just loosen up, he's likely to try to wrist roll here and straighten his arm, okay? So once he's doing that, I'm usually on my shoulder, right, we're tight. He looks to wrist roll. I see that this arm is straight. I'm still pushing or I'm pulling with this arm. I'm gonna insert into this scoop grip, okay? I'm kind of elbow to elbow here, but more elbow to bicep. If we're elbow to elbow, that's okay. But I prefer to be higher up if I can, right? So I'm elbow to bicep. So just looking at that again, I'm here. He knows I want this. He looks to straighten. I transition into this position. Can everybody see that well? I'm cupping his shoulder right here, and my arm is kind of doing like a big bicep curl, all right? I want to eliminate as much space in my arm as I can when I do this so that if he tries to posture up, I'm connected, right? He could posture up all the way. If I loosen up just a little bit, I'm still connected in a way, okay? So with this butterfly hook that I have, or this knee shield butterfly hook that I have here, I'm gonna look to get that across his neck, okay? If we can, the grip I prefer to secure this is a butterfly grip with my wrist, okay? I'm going wrist to wrist. Whichever you prefer though, there's no really like wrong way to do this, but we need to keep this arm in our control in some kind of way, whether it's a gable grip, butterfly grip, or whatever, okay? So I'm here, he knows I want to sweep, he's straightening his arm, I transition in. This hand's posting at his neck so that he doesn't crowd me here, right? So I have my left hand across his neck and my right hand scooping in to create this motion. Once I'm here, I'm making space with this hand for my knee to replace it. I double up on my grip, butterfly, or I windshield wiper out, and I look to go into my arm saddle, okay? So just kind of looking at some more details of that. He straightens. All you need to do on top, guys, just look to, off this position, just straighten your arm, all right? We're gonna pull ourselves in and get shoulder to shoulder, bicep to bicep. Right here, all right? Framing against the head as my knee replaces it. I'm gonna double up now to secure this. If Joe postures up, he can't, right? We're tight. This is staying here. Once we get this, we don't wanna let it go. We're gonna transition our leg over, and a small detail that we need to remember here is that if his posture isn't broken down, we need to keep our knee heavy. We can stay here as long as we need to get over. There's no rush from here, right? If we're here and we're transitioning over and he starts to posture up, we need to make our knee heavy. And it's really easy to do this. We just need to remember to do it, right? So I'm staying heavy with my knee across his back as I bring my leg over and into his hip. If we just stop here for today, that's totally fine. That's a good arm saddle position. But if we can make space to bring this foot through to his hip, right? If we can just spin. You see how my foot's hooked here? That's where we want to be ideally. It's not required, but it's where we'd like to end up, okay? So let's just get to there for right now, and then we can talk about moves that'll go from there, okay? So just looking at this again, we're in our we'll start from our knee shield. We'll get our reverse arm, or we'll get our arm drag grip, feed in to our butterfly. Our partner straightens their arm. We're gonna reach our right arm in, get bicep to bicep, cupping at the shoulder. Left hand's gonna frame against the face. Our knee will replace that frame. We're gonna double up on our grips now to keep this hand here. Joe postures up, I have him tight. We're gonna bring this leg over, heavy with our knee. Left leg's gonna come around and thread across this hip. We're tight, our knees are pinched. We'll just stop there for right now, okay? Everybody got that? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Nice, Eric. So try not, yeah. Just bring it right across her body. If it goes outside, that's when we start getting a little tricky. If you go wrist to wrist, right? If you cup your hand to your wrist and your other hand to your wrist, you can also do that with the gable, but it was like, so look at me real quick. Yeah, exactly. Play around with your partner posturing once you're, like right before you get to the arm saddle. Have your partner try to posture up. If you stay connected, you're doing it right. Joe, we need a little more bend in his arm so that his hand isn't tight to our head. Like we need to get, yes, we need his wrist out and then drive your shoulder in to keep him from being able to bend that back. Yeah. So now he can't turn that hand back in. Nice. And we're doing that by trying to, right? Like if he just tries to wrist roll from here, right? If you just straighten your arm, exactly. So we need to punch our shoulder to here so that he can't turn his wrist back towards your head, right? Okay. So we're trying to close that distance as we dive in. Exactly, so that he stays like that. Okay. It's okay if he gets his hand back in front of our face, but it's gonna be harder to do. Nice.
And then I couldn't see where you were going. Were you taking this top foot to the
Ideally here, yeah.
Okay.
With those knees pinched. Yep, and then we got our Choi bar. Let's just circle up real quick, guys. Something I didn't do a good job of explaining. We ideally keep this arm facing away from us, right? And that's challenging to do. Without repping this a couple times, it's gonna be difficult to get that feel, but ideally, we keep his arm in this position. That's why we're working that arm drag. We're trying to create this reaction, right? And to secure this, we're driving our shoulder into his arm to lock that down. This motion needs to be quick to right here. If I could get this scoop, his arm's staying here. Try to roll your arm back in. Right, we beat that. If he gets up on us again, we keep driving in till his shoulder or till his wrist stays on this side of our shoulder. Okay, kind of like a Kimura. So when we're here, arm drag grip, he goes to wrist roll, meet his elbow with your shoulder. Keep this position. If the arm wiggles out to here, that's okay. We're gonna look at other options, right? We'd go arm crunch and then maybe transition back in. But for right now, just so your partner can get the feel, let them get into this position where their hand's still facing backwards, like we were going for a Kimura, right? So we're here, straighten through, and we're here. Shoulders meeting right at the elbow, kind of at the forearm. Frame, bring it over. And a lot of you guys were already doing this. Keep working that Choi bar, okay? That's where we're gonna go next, but a lot of you guys were already doing it, so go ahead and finish from there, okay? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. So go back real quick. That looks really good. Stay right there, yeah. She was postured up more. Keep this knee like here to push her down. Then she's stuck. You feel that? That's the part that we gotta like make sure we do well or else we get into trouble. Nice. Very good, very good. Oh no.
I have bad hearing apparently.
He heard me saying good. He was like, I gotta break it now.
Yeah.
Damn. Now his turn to drill. Yeah, his turn to drill. It's over. Nice. Very good. Nice. Nice entry. Now take your time breaking him down before you go through it, right? Heavy knee across his back. Exactly. Keep breaking him down, and then thread it over. If we need to, yup. Good adjustments, Nate. All right, let's circle back up one more time real quick. We're just gonna add on some more details to this and then probably look at one or two more moves from here. So everybody's looking a lot better and making a ton of adjustments from here. I know it's an awkward position and it feels weird, but it's something that the more you do, the easier you'll find it, and it's a really effective move. So we're here, framing, right? We're getting that position. We want this hand facing out. We want his palm opposite of where we're looking, or I guess where we're looking, driving that shoulder through to get to our arm saddle entry, right? We're framing, getting over. Everybody's doing a good job keeping this knee heavy here to get this reaction. Remember, we're threading this foot through and we have active feet. These feet are pointed, so if my feet are just dangling, he can remove it really easily. I need this to hook. Everybody kind of get what I'm saying there? We're hooking, we're staying tight. As we look to finish this, I'm kind of getting like a bro grip, right? I'm shaking his hand here, like a handshake. I'm staying tight on this elbow, that's never going away. But this hand is staying tight, kind of like a handshake. I extend to get that finish, but most likely, Joe's gonna roll. So let's get used to going into the armbar from here, whether we finish in our standard way, or as he rolls, we look at different entries, maybe this foot behind the head, cupping here, whatever feels most comfortable, so that if when he rolls, we can attack into it, because they're not going to just let their arm break from there. They're going to try to flail and get out of the position, right? So we're here, enter in, stay tight, over, active feet here, get our bro grip, he rolls, and now whatever we want to do, right? This foot can come behind his head and the other leg in front to finish, or also we can just finish traditionally, right? There's no wrong way there. It just comes down to preference or wherever your feet end up. So let's do that for a few minutes and then I got another thing to add, okay? So let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to dish that bottom foot. Like your bottom foot could stay in that half guard position the whole way through, but it's totally okay to too. There's nothing wrong with either. I just wanted to point that out. But like, if your foot stayed there, totally cool. Nice. Get the roll. Good active finish. Nice. Make space with your hand at his neck, right? Frame at his neck. Bring that knee in. Yes. Then we double up. We double up at the arm though. Once we get that space at his head, we double up on our hands to secure it all in. What'd you say?
So there was one thing I noticed he had on me. He had like whenever he had this, he also kind of had my.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
you can
that.
leave your foot in that half guard when you go through it. So go through it all the way from the top, right? Leave your foot in that half guard.
Do you want to go through it how you were? Because you had it really good, and I literally couldn't roll.
Yeah, he was saying he felt like he couldn't roll off the arm.
Oh, you know what it is? Was it like hop on top real quick? Did it feel like that?
Yeah, it was like that, but we were in that final position.
If you leave your foot here and you keep this active foot hooking in, I think that'll create that reaction.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
an inch of movement, and I couldn't roll.
Get used to keeping like active hooks here, so that when that all happens, you'll get used to it.
Gotcha.
That's what's creating that. Yeah, yep. That's exactly it. And then he's got to really like roll over that left shoulder to get over. It's so hard. Nice. Yeah, dude. I hate showing this because I suck at defending it. It's like so hard to defend. There you go. Nice. That's good, man. Remember, connect your hands. Yup. Secure that. Yeah, super hard if you keep that, yeah. All right, guys, let's circle back up. So let's have some more fun with this one. This is where it gets a little fun. A lot of times when we're here, it'd be great to get that finish every time, but people are becoming a lot more familiar with this position. And so once we're here, it's really likely that they're gonna connect their hands, right? We still go through it. Say they connect their hands once we're here, right? We're all the way through, our foot's hooked, and they have their hands connected. This is bad, but what's nice is that their posture's broken down. If he goes to posture up here, I still have him down, right? We have a lot of power from here. But let's say it's somebody that like, I just cannot break this grip. They're just too strong, right? Because this is a pretty strong position for them. They can hook into their thigh, they can connect their hands. It's difficult to break this from here. We have a lot of breaking power, but we don't have a ton, right? I'm gonna look to post into his leg so that he can't defend this that easily, but let me just go through the move and then I'll kind of talk about the details. Okay, that might look fancy, but it's way easier than it looks. So just going into it, all the same footwork here. Our partner is going to connect their hands and their posture is going to be broken down, whether that's because of their own reaction or because of us staying strong here. It's a really common reaction though. We're going to cup at this leg because if we don't and we just post into the mat, he can get tall and it kind of gets rid of what we're doing here. So I'm going to pin his leg down with my hand as I look to post into my head. I'm also taking my right leg out from this hook position that a lot of you guys are feeling here. This is super effective, but we have to remove it. So I post into his leg, I retract my right leg. I'm going to get up on my toes as I'm also on my head here. And the biggest detail is I need my knee over his back. Once I'm here, he's pretty pinned down. Against like a really tall guy, they might be able to stand up as you do that, and that's where the trouble comes in. But if we stay tight here, we have a really good chance at getting this back take. So I pulled out that leg, my knee high steps over. I'm heavy with this. As I come up, I'm sitting into him now, right? Ideally, we push our second hook in, but if not, as he comes up, we take him with us into the back, okay? It's kind of like whenever you really have an arm bar, right? If you go to your back, we also have the back, right? We can arm drag into the back with an arm bar. And that's basically what we're doing here, just inverted. Pull my leg out, get up on my head, knee gets heavy, take the back, okay? Posting into his leg just to keep him stuck here a bit more. If we can't get connection, just post somewhere on his leg, right? Ideally though, I'm cupping here on his calf, okay? Trying to keep him pinned down. This foot is gonna look to stay here as long as it can. This is acting like a hook here. So I post, this foot came out either because of how he defended or just by me pulling it out. I'm going in, on my head now, kind of pushing off my shoulder. My knee is gonna get heavy. I need him to stay down until I can get here. And so that's what keeping that knee heavy does for us. Once we're here, we have the back, right? So just stay tight, look to finish. All right, so one more time. Everybody got it? Let's go on three. 1, 2, 3. I was so worried I was gonna mess that up.
It's good to see, but it felt.
It felt cool. I heard the oohs and ahs. Nice. So I think a lot of it that helps is like as my forehead's on the mat, I take my knee to their back, like midway on their back, and it kind of like, it's like having an extra arm, yeah. So like pushing off their back, one, so they can't posture up, and two, to like push you backwards. Does that make sense? Let me know if it still feels weird, because it's like, it's definitely a weird move. I'm still trying to figure out like what's working for me.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh man. Nice, you got that one down.
Are you reaching to their foot with the same hand that you're like posting on their neck and then getting
Yup.
a double grip? That's
It's the left hand, yeah, because the right hand's staying where it is the whole time. Yeah, rep on Joe or somebody. Left hand to the calf now.
Walk around my leg.
It doesn't matter. Left hand's gonna come here. Now get up on your shoulder and try to get to your forehead. Now big donkey kick backwards to get your knee behind his lat. Big kick, you gotta get higher. Yup. Build your base, build your base, build your base. Nice.
Once you get your leg over, what are you?
Trying to push. Yeah.
Hands on the mat.
Most times, yeah.
Most
It just like kind of depends on where they're at, but like, yeah, I haven't had issues where they're like cupping into me and driving me forward. I haven't had that because like the weight's so heavy on their back that they're just kind of stuck.
Okay.
The thing that's made it not work isn't them driving me over. It's been them standing up by not having that knee heavy enough. If they can,
Okay.
it's like,
I see.
like,
Fall off.
yeah, cause like you have like a body triangle kind of already
Yeah.
there, and I
Yeah.
saw the way you were doing it. Like that's the way I usually finish it.
Okay.
It's like it's easier for them to defend by going like that than it is for them to dive forward and try to take your hands with you because
Okay.
you have that body triangle.
Yeah.
So what I have issues with it against tall people, not like big people. It's easier on because they hunker down and they stay there.
Climb over and stuff.
Yeah. And it's like if I can get that knee behind their armpit,
Okay.
it works so well.
Taking this hook out. So I'm grabbing foot with this hand. Once I get the knee over, I'm taking this hook out. Posting,
Yeah.
And then reset and grip.
Exactly,
Like a
yeah.
seatbelt or something.
Yup.
Okay, cool.
So me as a defense,
It's easier on you.
Trying to explode up
Yes.
out of it.
Yeah. That's where I've had the most issues. Like people over 6 feet, it's like so hard to get on.
Yeah.
No way. You trying to make them like you. Nice. Right. Yup, the whole time. Left hand's gonna go to that foot, kind of build into your shoulder on your forehead. High kick over. Yup, now build up. Nice. And if we can, exactly, bring her over. And if we don't feel like we can do that, that's when we just put both hands onto the mat and look to just put both hooks in and climb up, kind of like gargoyle up. You know? Nice. That's where it goes wrong. You got to be heavy with that knee and keep that planted in. That's exactly what happens for me all the time. So connect those hands. Yup. Bang. High kick. Build, build, build. Nice. Everybody's looking awesome with this. Let's spend another minute.
I literally try to put like 90% of my weight on that leg.
Yeah. Nice, Nate. Nice, Eric. Exactly. Yeah, yup. Looking good with that one, man. That's looking good. Get a couple more reps in, then we're gonna move on. Stay heavier in that right foot. Don't worry about getting the hook with your right foot as much. Worry about making this knee kind of point down in that transition to keep him down so that we can build our weight backwards to get butt to butt and then put the hook in. That's perfect, Joe. Nice. That was a good one. All right, guys, let's circle back up real quick. So we aren't gonna drill this one, but I just wanna point it out. A lot of times people will be in the process of defending this as we go into it, and they're gonna hook at this foot, okay? This seems like it should be a problem, but we're really in a better spot than he is. This isn't that effective, right? We keep framing away at his head, and this is gonna go away naturally. The nice thing about this too, from this position, if he starts posturing up, maybe posting his hand off of that, it creates the space to go into that revert or the inverted triangle, whatever you want to call it, right? So kind of just going through it from here. He's got this hand at my foot. He can hold that as tight as he wants. Eventually, he's going to lose it if we frame into his face enough, right? Kind of stay tight on me. Kick. He keeps building. We have the option to go into that triangle, okay? So that's always an option too. Don't feel like that if they have the hand at this foot, that it's over here. We're in a better spot than they are, right? Stay tight on this arm, heavy on the shoulder, drive them down. They keep framing away and maybe building their base. Keep kicking, slide it away. If this foot came free, this is the easiest entry into this, right? And then we can look at going into Kimuras, rolling them over, or even finishing this triangle here, okay? So that's just another option. All right, so now I got 2 moves from close guard, and then we're gonna roll, I swear. We'll get done soon. So, from the close guard, from what I found rolling in arena, the overhook stuff isn't a good idea from close guard, because Joe can just pick me up and put my back against the cage as easily as he wants. This is a really bad spot to be in if you're in a cage format, because he'll just scoop me up, put my back against the cage, and then I have nothing. I really have nothing to work with from here. So I prefer to get a same side grip at this hand and pull him in so that I'm able to look to scoop underneath with this arm. All right. I'm sure a lot of you guys work K-guard in this gym. And so this is all something that can work into it really, really well. So we're here in a close guard. Everybody's going to put their hand on your stomach to posture up, right? Try and get a grip, like a C grip at this wrist. Maybe we need to lift our hips to clear this, but we get this grip. He's not going to think much of this, right? I don't have control of his lower body here. I don't have control of his upper body. I just have a wrist. I'm going to do a little sit-up to get this space in his leg here to pull myself underneath. Now you can see, once I do that, I'm also pushing his hand at his stomach, okay? If he stays strong, that's okay, but we're looking to ideally get his hand tight to his chest, and we're here, okay? So one more time, we're in the close guard. He's doing the right thing. He's posturing up, hands on the stomach. We're gonna lift our hips as we get this wrist grip and clear it, okay? So just like this. All right, once I have this might be floating, it might be down to my chest, or whatever it is. I'm gonna sit up to create this space to come underneath, okay? Once I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull him towards me, and I'm looking to bring my foot and knee into his armpit. So looking at that again. C cup grip, lift your hips to clear it, do a sit up, bring your feet to yourself to go ahead and get this scoop grip. Of course, we can look to go into K-guard from here, but a nice and effective sweep that I've had work through blue and purple belt for me is going ahead here in this kind of K-guard-like position, opening this guard up, kicking out wide, and bringing this leg towards his armpit. From here, he can only go down at this point. He might post into that elbow, but we have a lot of momentum to build our way up, okay? So let's just play around with that for right now. It's an effective sweep. It definitely won't work all the time, but it's a nice threat to have, and it's gonna build into what I'm gonna show you next. So we're here, lift our hips to clear, sit up, scoop grip here. We're gonna open our legs really wide and kick to bring him over, okay? Big emphasis on bringing our legs out wide so we can have the momentum to sweep. Does anybody have any questions on that? All right, let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. That was a good one. Now pull him towards you. Yup. Nice. Yeah, nice. That was awesome. Yep, that's a common reaction. That might happen. Try and keep control of that wrist. But we're gonna go into what to do next if they do that here in a minute. Nice. And as you guys are feeling, this is a great move to transition into arm bars too. Nice. Perfect. Nice. That was a good one. Nice. If we can make that right leg wider on that, even better.
Swing it out.
Yeah, yeah. But if you feel like you have more power keeping it shallow, I'm sure it works too. But that's what I've had success with.
Yeah.
One more minute here, guys. Try and really emphasize the leg work involved in this. It's going to help with the next move. Oh, yeah. All right, let's circle back up real quick. This is the last one. Something I didn't do a great job of emphasizing, when we get this grip and we get here, once we're going for this sweep, I want you guys to try to get your head as close to their knee as you can. It's gonna make a big difference, right? If we're trying to sweep from out here, he has a lot more of his base, right? So if I can get myself as close to his leg as I can, it's gonna make that a lot easier. But so, let's say we're here, right? Let's say we're going for this and we threaten it and we feel them base, right? And we don't have it yet, right? They're strong and we didn't get it, but they felt it. And we still have these grips because he doesn't want to bring this hand in to hand fight here because that's going to make it easier to get him over, right? He's in a tricky spot. Ideally, he wants to stand up, but we have the scoop grip preventing it, okay? So what I like to do from here, and I hit this against Nick Ficina in like Arena 5 or something, was here, pin in this hand, we threaten it, right? He knows that he needs to put weight into this hand. So when we go for it this time, I'm letting him post it. And what do we have here? We got the triangle, right? The number one thing to remember here too is that off of this transition, we're really loose, right? We don't really have a triangle that well because there's a lot of space. Our right hand needs to come to this tricep as quickly as we can to help secure this position, okay? So looking at that again, here, get my scoop, I threaten it. He knows he needs to post in this way now. It's like in his brain. We've like programmed him to think like, oh shit, I'm gonna get swept. This time, I'm gonna really go for it and sell it, but I'm gonna let go of this hand. Right into the triangle. We need to cuff with this elbow though to help secure this. In the match, his hand was at my stomach, so he was staying here, right? He feels that he needs to stay tight, so it was easy to come here just like that. And it made it easier because that's the reaction he wants. He wants to keep his hands on your stomach because he doesn't want to get swept, okay? So that's why with this one, if we don't get it the first time, it's like even better because it's setting up the triangle because he knows that it's coming and he's going to be like, you're not going to get me with this a second time. Like I already defended it once. So we're here, we get it, we look for it, we get that reaction, we hang out here. Maybe we break his posture down, we make him feel like, okay, I'm winning this. When he postures back up, enter into that. Connect to that triangle, get your finish, right? Everybody got that? Big emphasis on this hamstring getting heavy into his lat, right? Force him in that direction. It's a lot easier, like in the gi, getting these grips and doing that, but it's just as effective in no gi, right? This leg needs to come up here and chop. We need him to really want to post this hand out like a bump sweep. The farther we can get his hand to post out, the more his posture is going to be broken down and the better for us, right? Any questions? Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3.